But I am now leaving it to Kenyans to hold the leaders who just make sweeping statements and who sometimes pick my figures, remove a few data from my figures, take my finance bill, and claim to be providing alternative budget. If you want to provide alternative budget, have your people to do simulation. You will not manage the country if you, God forbid, become president with my data, because I will not be there to supply the data for you. So mwambie hao wengine, in fact in my language they say, preparing budget ya kalongolongo. Waachane na hizo budget za kalongolongo. Let them critique our budget and tell us where it is not making sense.
Nairobi's busiest markets, Maggie Wangare is busy at work, attending to her first 3 customers after a long day without sales. The 3 leave after purchasing 2 trousers, leaving Wangare to scout for more customers before dusk. She attributes the harsh economic times to low purchasing power among Kenyans who are grappling. Food is expensive and even healthcare is unaffordable for her household.
Fia ninalipa 100, naenda na 50 narudi na 50. Unakuja unakalia mitumba yako, saingine usi hapa sokoni. Kuwa tunapigwa chakula, tunausua chakula ile kidogo sana ni kama 150. Ikiendea 200 na ni chakula zenye huwezi shimba. So mimi naona kulingana na bajeti yangu ninajibebea kachai kangu. Na kunywa kachai kangu, maybe nanunua hata kama nikasalisibili ya mkate na kula for lunch. Kama budget ya kwangu nyumbani kutumia ni kama tunatumia dhao moja, na hiyo dhao moja hata itoshi.
With the mitumba sector being among the sectors that were targeted in the new finance bill before the proposal was dropped, Wangare has opposed the proposal by Mitumba Consortium Association of Kenya to have a 5% presumptive tax, saying the move could increase the cost of the clothes.
Wangejua Kenya tunapataga pale ndani, hata wastahili kusema waongeze lolote. Kwa sababu hizo nguo hata vile enyewe hata kama tunauza kwa sababu tusikae idle. So kusema ati waongeze mtuba juu kwetu ni hasara zaidi, manake hakuna kenye tunapataga. Ile kitu tunapataga ni kitu kidogo sana.
A pain shared by most traders in this market who are already grappling with the high transport cost as a result of the soaring fuel prices.
Mafuta imekuwa juu sana. Kama sisi tunapoenda kwa shamba, unakuta mtu akitaka kubebea mzigo, anakuambia utoe 15,000. Ile yenye tulikuwa hapa nyuma tulikuwa tunalipa transport 10,000. Unakuta hiyo ni 5,000. Hiyo 5,000 ndio profit yako yenye utapata kwa nyanya. Unakuta ukileta hiyo nyanya, unatoa cess, unatoa transport. Hakuna kitu yenye unapata.
For the small scale traders, a mwananchi friendly budget is one that can only reduce the cost of doing business and rising cost of living.
That there was some data and analysis that we were doing. We have now agreed.
MBADI'S saying the proposal will be implemented but remained non-committal on when.
We have given a commitment. This government is not going to lie to Kenya. We have given that commitment. Wait for the commitment. It is us who said it.
It will be coming.
Will it be part of this budget?
Absolutely. What the CS was doing is speaking to the revenue-raising measures as contained in what he has already submitted to the National Assembly. What the President pronounced himself on was not part of what the CS had submitted. But that is not to say he's not going to submit it. It will be submitted.
The remarks come 2 weeks after President Ruto admitted to some bottlenecks in the proposal, but stated that the plan was still underway and set for the next financial year, starting in about 2 weeks' time.
Some people there in the Treasury came back and said, "Oh, Mr. President, this is going to be very big. It's going to cost us 40 billion shillings in this budget." I told them, let's do it.
There were concerns that the government was blowing hot and cold and was walking back on the pledge made by CS MBADI.
We have agreed with His Excellency the President. He has directed me to take to Parliament a proposal. I'm not even waiting for finance bill to come in June.
Treasury shelved the Special Tax Laws Amendment Bill of 2026 and signaled the tax reliefs would be included in the Finance Bill 2026. Emmanuel Tor, Citizen.
At one of Nairobi's busiest markets, Maggie Wangare is busy at work, attending to her first 3 customers after a long day without sales. The 3 leave after purchasing 2 trousers, leaving Wangare to scout for more customers before dusk.
Growing public debt, the government is now turning to innovative financing models aimed at easing repayment obligations. With the country's debt stock standing at 12.8 trillion Kenya shillings, National Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi says Kenya is exploring debt for food swaps and debt for development swaps arrangements that would allow lending nations to cancel portions of debt and redirect the equivalent funds into projects that support food security, infrastructure development, and other national priorities.
Are designed to broaden the investor base, optimize the cost risk profile of public debt, and enhance overall resilience in debt management. In this regard, the government is considering thematic and liability management instruments such as debt for food swaps and debt for development swaps.
The proposal comes amid growing concern among Kenyans and economic analysts over the pace at which public debt has expanded through both external and domestic borrowing, with the country's interest financing now standing at 1.25 trillion shillings. According to Mbadi, the debt swap arrangements would not only reduce debt servicing pressure, but also channel resources directly into sectors that generate economic value and improve livelihoods.
These instruments provide an opportunity to convert external debt obligations into targeted investments that directly support national priorities, including food security, sustainable development, and social infrastructure.
Data from the latest Budget Implementation Review report indicates that by March 2026, Kenya's public debt had reached 12.82 trillion. Of this amount, 5.68 trillion is owed to external lenders, while 7.14 trillion debt swaps. The Treasury is also seeking to diversify Kenya's resources of financing by tapping into new international capital markets.
This includes the potential issuance of samurai bonds in the Japanese market, and a lot of progress has been made in this area, and panda bonds in the Chinese domestic market. By tapping into these markets, the government stands to benefit from deep and diversified pools of capital.
The Treasury is also proposing Sharia-compliant investment facilities in a move aimed at attracting more investors and expanding access to liquidity.
The government is considering the introduction of sukuk instruments. These Sharia-compliant securities, which are structured on asset-backed or asset-based principles, will enable the government to access liquidity from Islamic finance markets.
Seeking to unlock liquidity in the economy, the government has allocated 68 billion to clear verified pending bills owed to suppliers and contractors, a move expected to boost business activity and improve cash circulation. Under the payment arrangement, suppliers and contractors with up to 100 million claims will be paid over the next 2 years. Melita Oletenges, Citizen TV.
Mr. Speaker, before I resume my seat,
the hope melting away as Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi concluded his 3-hour presentation of the 2026-2027 budget highlights to the National Assembly. Despite a promise he made first in February and buttressed by President William Ruto in multiple events, the pledge to exempt employed Kenyans earning 30,000 shillings or less from pay-as-you-earn payee tax was non-existent in the budget plans.
even if it is not in the finance bill, it is not of